Hi, my name's Kathy Callahan-Brady. I'm with Frederick's Innovative Technology Center, and welcome to our show. I'm here with Scott Ryser from Yakabod, and I'm really excited about this. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kathy. Yeah.
Well, you have been one of my greatest supporters and advocate for FITSE and stuff, so I really appreciate that, and you volunteer your time tremendously. A lot of people don't realize you're now our vice president of FITSE's board.
Yep.
It's exciting.
Got roped into that one, yeah.
Yes, I'm not supposed to say that one on camera. But you're also chairman of our Strategic Growth and Advisory Board, Team T, the technology team.
Yep.
So you do a tremendous amount for our clients and stuff. And one of the reasons why we really wanted to have this interview is because many of them want to know who Scott Ryser really is. I mean, you know, the man behind all of these great pieces of advice and great questions and stuff. But first, tell us a little bit. I mean, I look at Yakabod and I look at the logo and why the name and what is at Yakabod?
Yeah, so we started during the whole .com era. You remember the whole internet land grab, domain name land grab thing going on? And everybody was making up names to get domain names, and so most of them weren't really relevant to us. We picked something a little more relevant. Yakabod is Old Testament Hebrew. It means God's glory. And we just said that was our anti-Enron device. It kind of kept us thinking about something beside our own egos as we built this. So. Yeah.
Very nice. So what is Yakabod?
Yeah, so we're a software company.
Okay.
It's secure knowledge sharing software. Historically, it's typically been a platform that we use to sell software and services. We do a lot of customization for our clients to serve underserved business processes in their organizations. But as we've grown and matured, we've launched a couple derivative products, still in that general area, underserved business processes, and we've been able to launch them on our platform to kind of carve out some niche businesses as well.
Okay, and you make everything look really easy. And you're right here on the corner of Market Street, and you've recently moved to a gorgeous location.
Yeah,
it looks
it's beautiful.
phenomenal. Yeah, so if you're talking to startups and stuff like that, they take a look at you, and you're laughing and joking and having a good time, so you make it look really easy. So has it been?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's been really easy. Yeah.
We want the real truth, the good stuff, right?
No, it's not easy, and but yeah, you have to have a sense of humor through it. But we're well past that startup phase at this point, so you can laugh a little more at this point. But it wasn't always that way.
Well, tell us about some of the, I hate to say it, it's real easy to talk about the success. Tell us about some of the failures, some of the things that went wrong that you would advise some of the clients, don't do this.
Yeah, I don't know if I know the book is a little dated now, but Jim Collins' Good to Great is probably still a classic reference. And he talks about the flywheel in there, and that's been very much that for us. Only now really is the flywheel really starting to spin after 17 years. And so the thing you don't want to do is give up. The thing you don't want to do is just be married to that first idea, because you're probably going to pivot and you're going to have to learn and grow. And but I think you just need to keep the lights on long enough early, in your early days. Just keep the lights on long enough till you can learn what you don't know, because you don't know.
So then are you saying that it takes 17 years in order to get to a place of comfort?
No, not for everybody. And we've certainly been out of startup mode for, financially we've been out of startup mode for probably 12 years now, but, where we just haven't had that daily, although I still to this day know where our brick wall is, in terms of cash flow, and so there was a discipline from those days that we still carry, and in terms of just the innovative culture that we had in those early days, we still carry that, but maybe we don't carry some of the same stress.
One of the things I think our clients really benefit from, so you're chairman of Strategic Growth and Advisory Board, and the way that you started your company, and I know this just because of some of the advice that you've given, is you did it on your own. There wasn't any capital or any investments that you took from other people, so you own it 100%. And our clients go back and forth with that, because many of our advisors did go down the path of investments. And so, you come from that angle. Can you tell me why, or, tell the group What are the benefits? And
Yeah. So our board counseled us in the and so let me just clarify, we didn't really do it on our own. There was no outside capital. Maybe let's put it that way. We bootstrapped with no outside capital, but a lot of help. There's a lot of help, a lot of wisdom from a lot of people along the way. But the board counseled, from the earliest day, go sell customers, not investors. And those were in the days where everybody thought, well, if you had an idea and you got some eyeballs, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
You'd just, somebody'd throw a bunch of venture at you and you'd be a quadrillionaire before you knew it.
Right.
And so that was kind of heady advice from them back then, to go sell customers, not investors. But it's classic advice, and it's good advice. And because of that, we've been able to invest in our product. And that's why the flywheel's turning. It doesn't have to take this many years. In our case, it did, and we're where we should be. But I think sometimes I've seen other companies in our market space that did go out to broader markets, and they took venture capital, and then went public, and we're talking big raises, C rounds and $50 and $100 million raises. But then the pressure to generate revenue became so much greater that they would have been a perfectly viable, even innovative business at 50 million on the top line or 100 million. It would have been very valuable, but the pressure drove them to try and be a $500 million company, and they just couldn't scale to that. They were never profitable at that level. They'd get to 500 and they were losing 200 a year, and the more they scaled, the more they lost. And we saw that happen to a number of firms. So we're quite a bit smaller than that, obviously, but we've been profitable the whole way, and we still have our stake.
So hindsight's 2020, right? When you look back, is there anything you'd do differently?
That's a great question. We've certainly made plenty of mistakes with hindsight, the way we marketed a particular customer, or the angle, the strategy we took on a certain proposal, or some of those things like that. But you're going to make those. I mean, sure, it'd be great if it would have been, 0 to 100 straight away, but no, I think we learned something from all those things too. And so, no, I don't know that I'd change anything.
Yeah, I always say my greatest failures are my greatest successes.
Yeah,
in a sense, that's where
as long as you're open to it, as long as you're open to learn it, you just keep the lights on and move ahead.
So speaking of learning, if you were going to leave them with one thing that would be, this is what I've learned, this is sort of my advice for success, or even what not to do, what would that be?
Yeah, we're talking to entrepreneurs here, and that's a little different than the stage we're in now. So to go back to that, recognizing most of you are going to be early stage entrepreneurs or emerging, I just say just the persistence, persistence. You don't have it all figured out, and that's okay. In fact, it's scary, how little you really know. Right now, let me tell you from personal experience, and that's okay. Just keep moving on and keep an open mind to learn it, and with some persistence, you'll get there.
What great advice. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for everything that you do for FITSE and for our clients. It truly is, I think it's extremely
exciting stuff going on here, Kathy. Yeah.
I know, it really is fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming. You can find out more in terms of interviews and stuff like that. We're going to be doing this every month with all of our advisors, and you can find that out on fitse.org. Thank you.